I mean, laying down your strengths is a big one. Like it's so easy. You can get when you're reflecting, giving yourself feedback on calls, you're always like picking on the things that you could have done better. You got to look out for those things that you nailed. It's so much easier to do more of what you're not doing than try and fix the things that you're really struggling with. That's an easy win right there. But another thing is when you've lost a deal, or even when you've won a deal, take the time to reflect right there and then. I used to make the mistake of I'd lose a deal, I'd be devastated. I'd be like, oh, I thought I was certain this was going to close. And then I'd try and move on for it. I'd go for a walk and I'd forget about it. The issue is 3 days later, I don't remember any of the details. So I think it's a good idea right there and then whenever you fail, whenever you have a bad cold call, whenever you have a deal that slipped off the rails and got lost at the final hour, take the time there right then to reflect on the reasons why that deal was lost, what you could have done differently, and then you can go take that time to move on so you don't forget those lessons.
I want you to think about this, right? Like imagine if a pilot didn't go through their procedure before taking off. And on the announcer, they were like, hey, y'all, like today, I didn't go through my normal procedure. I'm gonna wing it. I'm feeling good. I'm terrified. Like, get me on another plane. Like, this is not gonna go well, right? So I would encourage everyone to just think about the processes they have. I was in a training and we talked about when it comes to prospecting that can be very process oriented. The discovery is very process oriented. You're trying to get certain answers. And as you go further down the sales cycle, it becomes more of an art, right? How you negotiate, how you close, that becomes more of your personality. So these are just things to consider, right? Like understand what your process is throughout the entire sales cycle and then figure out how to add your own flavor to it as well. But you have to have the process. Again, if a pilot showed up on the plane and said, you know what, I'm not doing what they tell me to do today. I'm going to go rogue. Yeah, they ain't going to be good for anybody. These are just the things. Like if we're being transparent, like majority of people have the time. It's just, what are you doing within that time? And then if you feel like you don't have a lot of time, then figure out what are you doing that's taking up that time. That's distracting you, or not even distracting you. That's keeping you away, right, from your money-making activities. Because if it's not a money-making activity and you're in sales, you got to ask a lot of questions. First and foremost, when I share this with you, this is important. You need to actually do this. All right. Don't be like, oh, I'm gonna try it. I think this is cool. Like, you need to do this. I can't like if y'all don't do this, I'm going to show you, like, this is going to be sad. All right. Because this is what I use before every single call. And what I mean by every single call, like a decision maker is coming on. If you want to use this for discovery, you can. It's just completely up to you on how many calls you have. But I'm just going on my screen. I'm trying to make sure that this works. All right, amazing. You'll see right here, I'm on James's profile. And here's the cool thing about this is that, okay, let's say I want to go sell to James. And this is our discovery call. And I want to see, like, how do I need to flow the conversation? So what you'll see right here is this attachment, Crystal knows here. I can go over to, I need to call James. We'll just do that. And let's say I'm doing a sales pitch. We'll keep it easy. So you'll see right here, it tells me everything I need to do. It's like, okay, I need visual aids. I need to make sure I keep my energy light with jokes. I mean, if you know James, these are pretty accurate. Keep the conversation focused and aimed with an outcome, right? And it also tells you things not to do, right? These are things that would turn him off or for him to maybe leave the meeting or whatever that may be. So the goal is that when I get on a call with someone, I just like to understand where they're coming from and what's going to happen. And even to the point where if I'm, let's see if there's some other insights here. Here we go. So if I'm doing like negotiation, you'll see right here, I can figure out how do I negotiate with James, right? What do I need to be saying on the call? What do I need to be walking through with him, right? And you see discovery here as well. We talked a little bit about discovery. I could figure out what do I need to do when I'm just doing discovery to open him up and to make sure that we can move forward in the right direction. So look, like I told y'all, like this is a tool that I absolutely would be using. And, you know, I'm ready on the call, right? I'm ready to go. And now I can get those results that I'm looking for. So that's a Crystal knows.
You need to come in with a really, really good game plan. Also, going back to what Scott was saying earlier, you got to make sure that you're booking time in order to make sure you have that time to make that game plan. Because at the end of the day, failing to plan is planning to fail. And my favorite time to do this is at the end of the day before a business day. So say it's Friday at 4 p.m. I'm pretty much done with my day, right? I'm game planning for the next week. I'm figuring out, okay, how am I going to come in Monday morning ready to rock? I know exactly who I'm prospecting. I know exactly who I'm following up with in terms of my opportunities, et cetera, et cetera. So that way you avoid the Sunday scaries. You don't hop into a call Monday morning and you're completely caught flat-footed, et cetera, et cetera. And so failing to plan is planning to fail. Make sure you're setting time to create the game plan.
One of the main things that you can do across the board is reconfirm the status. And I had an email. I don't know. I'm trying to find it right now, but basically when someone has like, especially when you get to like proposal stage and they're like not signing something and you're like, okay, like what's going on? The subject line was like reconfirm status or like status check or something like that. And I'd be like, let's say I'm selling to Russell and he hates me. He goes through, right? So I say, hi, Russell. Based on our conversation, I would say, hi, Russell. This is an important sentence because of everything that's been going on in the world. Like this sentence is very valid. You have to start here. You can be like, I know things might be crazy right now in your world. You need to start there because you don't know what's happening. Because you could be like, oh, someone's ghosting me. Family members, like dog, cat, like kid, like you have no idea. So you don't want to come in and be like, hey, like, what are you doing? It's like, no, like something actually could be happening in their life. So you need to start there first. And then, right, I'm going to say, based on our conversation so far, here are the highlights and what you were looking to accomplish. And then I'll have like bullet points. So it'll be like, you told me you wanted to, I don't know, increase something. You wanted to do this. You wanted to do that. Da, 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 da. And at the end of it, I'll say, is all of this still accurate or am I missing something? Let's hop on a call if I'm missing something so we can clarify moving forward. And I do that when people ghost me and I'm you do not do this after a disco call because something was off, right? You should have done something differently. And we've all been there where we might've messed up or something we missed, but this is like negotiation, like closing stage. And I've had people large majority of the time come back and say, you know what, this is all accurate. I'm busy with this. Or they're like, hey, look, actually things change. We just let go of someone and we need to hop on a call because expectations have changed. Which is fine. Then you have to go back in rediscovery mode to figure out how you're going to close that moving forward. But I just want to take that in consideration, that email. Yes, you could do the, did I lose you? You could do like, hey, are you ghosting me? You could send them a video. But that email I just gave you is a way to be like, hey, like, I just don't really know what's happening here. So